This episode of the Mimics Fail is sponsored by Taste Invader Tea. Treat yourself to 15% off an order of daring and delicious tea at tasteinvader.co.uk using code TMV. That's TMV. On this episode of the Mimics Fail, we discuss Nubby's Number Factory, Breakout Beyond, and the First Berserker, Khazan.
For the first time in a long time, I'm playing a game in the same year that it released, as far as I'm aware. Wait for you guys. Actually, it released in 2023. You've just had the code for such a long time.
It's actually been in early access. Carry on.
Yeah, no, the First Berserker, Khazan. Souls-like. Oh, my goodness me, what a game. So yeah, it's just like your standard Souls-like. You're going around, you're just smashing people to bits and pieces with your axe, your different kind of weapons. You've got your little shriny things that you stop at to level up and all that kind of stuff. But you know, I was playing it, so I know Ben, you're playing it as well. I started out on normal. It gives you the option, even maybe like 20 minutes after you start, if you want to reduce the difficulty. And I said no. I was like, I'm going to try and persevere with this. But my goodness me, does it get difficult?
Yes.
Yeah, I have knocked it down to, I don't know, story, whatever the
I think
easy
it's
option
it's
is.
It's called easy.
Is it called easy?
I don't think it should be called easy. Because it's not. No. It's not easy.
It isn't. No.
But
yeah, there's some of the bosses. I have wondered, like, how would I have ever got past this? And it's one of those things that it would have been bashing your head against the wall for hours to do it. But like, it doesn't. I knocking it down to easy mode, if that's what it is, doesn't detract from the game because it is so much fun to play. I think I'd liken it more to a Demon Souls than anything else. Like, you have that sort of hub area, and you go to a particular region to sort of tick off some missions. That's how I would. That's like, it's more of a Demon Souls kind of like. I would guess.
It's level based, basically, isn't it? Rather than, open worldish or whatever. Which makes it feel more palatable, I think. Makes it feel like, okay, I can do this. I can get to the next. I forget what it's not a bonfire, but whatever their equivalent is. Get to the next one of those, and then okay, I'm doing all right here. I'll try and push to the next one. And how I've been playing it is like a level a night, getting to the boss of a particular level, trying the boss, I don't know, 10 times, and then going, I'll come back to this tomorrow. And then doing that, and then beating that boss, and then doing the rest of the next level kind of thing. It's quite a nice way to sort of piecemeal it up. I do like games that are sort of, you know, you can break them into chapters like this. It just makes it feel more manageable.
How long you played
for? The difficulty? I think I'm getting on for about 20 hours now.
I think I'm about 12 or 13. Yeah.
So I think, because obviously we're playing on different platforms. I'm playing on Steam, you're playing on PlayStation, but I assume the trophies and the achievements are the same. So I'm keeping an eye on your progress.
So I got one 15 minutes before we started tonight. Do you know that already?
I haven't checked that one. No, my intel isn't that current.
Okay.
But I can guess what boss that would have been tied to. I think
it was. I can't remember his name now. It was a guy with a big sort of gun type axe.
Yeah. I can't remember his name, but yeah. I mean, those bosses are tough. There's been a few where I've really struggled because there's no way around it. There's no cheesing whatsoever. It has to be, you have to parry you basically have to parry in this game. Otherwise, you're never going to get their stamina down. Therefore, you're never going to land a big hit on them.
Yeah, but I sometimes feel that as soon as parrying is mentioned, people will go,
me included.
But I don't think it's too bad. Like, so in comparison to Sekiro, it's so much easier. And that's not just because I'm easy.
The window seems bigger.
Yeah,
to get the timing right.
And you have like a parry, like a normal parry, but if you properly sort of nail it, you get a special. I can't remember what you call it.
Brink parry.
That's the one. Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Brink guard.
And then there is Brink guard. And then there's another one you can do that damages them back as well. But that's one I find really hard to nail. I've given up. Yeah, I've given up trying. I learned to do it to beat one of the early bosses that I was really struggling with, and kind of pulled it off a few times in that fight. And I was like, okay, good. I never have to use that again. Because it's basically like guarding and pressing a button at the same time.
Yeah.
And it just never seems to work. But yeah, so like you, Alex, I hear parry and I think I can't do that. But I've thought of it now as, this, and I'm sure this is how Souls-like hardcores think of it anyway, but thinking of the stamina window almost as their health, and thinking of parry as an attack that gets that bar down helped me, just thinking of it that way around. It's not a defensive thing, it's a way to chip away almost at their armor so that you can then open them up for a big hit. And some of those moves you can pull off once they are staggered or whatever is very, very satisfying to do.
It's a very satisfying game, I think.
Fun to play. Like I love it, and I'm really enjoying the combat. It's making me want to play. Like, hey, switch to Elden Ring. Maybe do a run with something other than standing far away and shooting magic at people. That's, but it is actually good fun, and I think it's the first one of these where I've thought, yeah, actually, I get it. I get that that's fun. It's not just beating them; it's like learning the patterns and timing and everything, and it's so satisfying. Like beating someone at the 30th attempt and then just like, yeah, have it. It's just such a good feeling. But there's a couple of little quality of life things that are really nice in this as well. That I think the biggest one is, it's a Souls-like. If you die, you drop your souls. You have to go and collect them again. But if you're doing that, lacrima. But if you're doing that against the boss, you die, you get to keep some souls, or you almost get some bonus souls for fighting a boss in the first place. And then your souls are left outside the room, the boss room. So you could potentially, you're almost rewarded for trying fighting a boss. So it doesn't feel like you're just trying and then dying and then trying and dying. It's like you are still accruing lacrima while you're doing that, because you're earning it and then you're picking it up. So you can go and level up eventually as well. Yeah.
That's what you get a message, don't you? If you've died and you're back at the sort of shrine.
Yeah.
It says, like, up top right, you have earned for completing a boss challenge or something like that.
Yeah. Which I assume is just taking on the boss. You get a little bonus, like 2,000 or not a lot. But so there is that. But then the flip side of it is it's very stingy with the summons. So there's a summons basically outside every boss room where you can call in a, AI or computer controlled helper. But that there's a currency that you need to pay for those. And in order to get that currency, you have to fight like a version of yourself, like a ghostly version of yourself, basically, which are dotted around the map. And those are pretty trivial, those fights now. So I'm taking them on every time I see them. Making sure the area is clear beforehand, so I don't get start a fight with one of them and then 50 other people come and attack me at the same time, because that is a pain in the ass. But yeah.
Yeah, I experienced a strange glitch. When that first opens itself to you, of having to fight those versions of you or whatever it is to get a summon. It was the first area that it was available in, and it's the one you have to go and like you've got to close off. This isn't a spoiler. Close off like some weird gate because there's like energy being taken from the nether world or something like that.
Yep.
A big spinning thing. It takes you a wee while to go and close the 3 sort of compartments of it.
I think I know what you mean because I had exactly the same thing.
And I was like, I want. This is before I knocked it down to easy. I was like, I want to get more of these summons, and they weren't there. So outside the boss door, there is the gold summon, which is a helper, and there are a few red ones, which are the folk you've got to beat to get the currency to summon. And there was none there, and I was like, fuck's sake! Right? I was like, I'll teleport to another area of this place. And then go back just to see if it works. I was like, it hadn't worked. I went back to the Crevice. What a name.
Yep.
What a name for the hub world. And then go back out. It hadn't worked. I was like, okay, I'll just reboot the game itself. Turn the whole PS5 off. Back on again. And the door was closed. When I got back out to outside the boss room, the door was closed. And I was like, what's going on here? And so then I walked back to where you see, I can't remember what her name is. Fonzie or whatever.
yeah, something like that.
And I was like, in the background, I could see the thing moving. I was like, why is that doing this? It shouldn't. And so what had happened was the door had closed because for some reason the game had like wiped my progress through there. Luckily, I could still warp to outside the boss room. Because if not, I would have had to have gone round and done all that again. Yeah. Because I went and quickly, I did quickly check. I was like, I can run up here because I've extended the bridge and I've raised this thing up, all that kind of stuff, and it was all reset.
Yeah, that is odd. So I've actually done that today. I warped. So you know when you kill an elite enemy, they're supposed to be gone forever, aren't they? But when you go back to a level, they're back again. So like,
it even gives you a message to say that they wouldn't be there.
Yeah, but I wonder if that's just while you're in that level. Then once you've gone back to enter the crevice and then come back again, whether they regenerate after that. But yeah, little things like that. But that they're just sort of minor gripes. Like I feel like this is as brutally hard as it is. I do feel like this is probably quite a good first Souls game. Maybe it feels. Yeah. It feels like almost it's long as far as I can tell. It's like a 30-40 hour long game, or the rate I'm going. 80 hours probably, but yeah, it feels compact. I think because of that level structure, and there's like 3 weapon types. It all feels quite, and you can get into your gear augmenting and all that stuff. But
what weapons are you using?
The dual blades or whatever they are.
So you get dual blades. You get like a spear and then like a big heavy sword claymore type thing.
Yeah.
I've tried them all, but I've just stuck mainly with the dual blades.
Yeah, it's just good fun. Just getting in there, mixing it up. But yeah. Has any of what we've said, Alex, wet your whistle at all?
Do you know, there's a little bit of me that I'm almost like it's been, and I've said this to the two of you, it's been really refreshing seeing both of you enjoying this as much as you have been. I feel like it's been quite a wee while where there's been like a game like this that has captured the kind of imagination at the same time, and there's that bit of it is making me want to give it a go. But all the rest of it, like, no. it's more that almost like I just want to kind of feel like a wee bit left out. I'm like, oh, look at you two enjoying that. No, I'm not made for that type of game. Like, it's just not. It's not me. I don't have the patience. Like, I'm too gung ho.
Yeah. It does test your patience, and I get too gung ho, and before every boss fight, I'm like, okay, this time I'm going to be patient, I'm going to be defensive. But then the second there's an opening, I'm like, bash, straight, kill. And then starts an animation, and then the boss has started their animation, and then they hit me, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And then that makes me angry, and then I do it, It's like
I like the R moves. You hold like R1, and then you can map moves to square, triangle, and circle on the PlayStation. that seem to do a lot of damage. There's one that I've got a map to square, and you just keep bashing.
Is it like the frenzy one?
Yeah.
Where you're just like the red mist comes around you and you just...
Yeah. It's very satisfying.
And then you get the little... When they're stamina drained, you get the little red circle around them.
Yeah.
That quite quickly depletes.
Yeah.
So
Are you still hitting them?
Yeah, so I'm trying to get as many hits in before that fully depletes.
And then hitting...
And then launching that
same. Yeah.
Punisher move or whatever it's called. I love this game. I think this is destined to be like a bit of a sleeper hit this year.
Yes, agreed. Interesting art style. Anime, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that I can only assume the art style is why it runs so well on Steam Deck. Like, I am getting a solid 60 frames per second on high settings, so it looks good and smooth and everything you want in a game like this. And I've played it, 95% of it handheld, and I've managed to avoid throwing my Steam Deck in a fit of rage as well, which is quite good.
That's impressive.
Yeah, but it works. Yeah, I mean, works like a dream. I'm very impressed, and I assume PlayStation 5 is better.
Good. No issues.
It's a special one. It's a special one, definitely. And I'd like to think I'll crack on with it. It's just one of those things where there's only so much beating down you can take. I think my concern is I'll meet a boss that really feels completely insurmountable, and then I'll just go, okay, I've had my fill. But,
you can the scale. It's not scaling, but like when you upgrade yourself, like you go to a bonfire, for lack of a better expression of what it is. Are you leveling up anything in particular? Because there's is it valor, endurance, strength, willpower, and proficiency?
Yeah.
Have you rhyme or reason picking things?
Not to start with. I was just like, well, I need more health because I'm dying constantly. So I was doing whatever the top one is that gets you like 50 HP every time. But then I noticed something next to that weapon says it scales with strength and endurance or something. I can't remember what the other one is.
Oh, I've not seen that.
But I don't really understand what that means. So it's strength and willpower. So I'm putting more of it into that, but I don't really understand that. I'm just okay, I guess I should be putting it into that, but it doesn't seem to be making much difference to.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't seem to, because like I've been putting. I hadn't noticed that it says that next to the weapon. I'm going to check that out, but I've been putting them into like proficiency and willpower. Because I was like using the toggles, seeing what it was going to.
What goes up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like if you go with the top one, a lot of that goes up as well with like proficiency, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's the thing where I think you can get really into the nitty gritty of perfecting your build, and obviously you can get different sets that have set bonuses if you're wearing the same piece of armor and same helmet and boots that match and everything. You get bonuses and stuff. I've tried to do that, but yeah, in terms of like proper nerdy build crafting, I haven't really got into that yet.
Yeah, it's not like Elden Ring that I go and actually read. I was like, what do I need to do here? To make myself as hard as possible.
Yeah. But yeah, that is
what maiden do I need to chase after?
That's the first Berserker Khazan. And safe to say, big fans. Big fans.
Yep.
What about you, Alex? Give us some what was it Steve said the other week? Some tonal whiplash.
Tonal whiplash. I've been playing a bit of Breakout Beyond. I mean, that is some fair tonal whiplash.
That is.
So Breakout Beyond is basically, you know how Atari have been doing all these different versions of their games, like not reimagined, but like bringing them a kind of modern take on their classic games. So that the latest one's Breakout Beyond, and I think it's lovely. Like, See, when you play, it's very simple. You know what a breakout game is. You're moving your cursor up and down the left hand side of the screen, trying to hit the balls back and forward to break out of the stage. That's ultimately your goal. But it just looks so pretty, like the way they've done it. With kind of almost like a skin over the top of it to give that kind of classic bit. But it's so vibrant and so it's almost neon. And see, like playing it on the OLED TV, you're like, wow. And I kind of said,
was this the one that you asked me to play?
This is the one I asked you to play in the OLED deck because
okay,
I'm like, I can imagine how good it looks on that OLED screen. And it's very difficult though. I find it's just so sensitive, and you can adjust. I think there's got 10 sensitivity levels to you controlling it. But I think I've maybe got to about level 13 or 14 or something just now, but it just takes time and takes conviction because it's so easy for that just to misjudge that ball like by a millisecond. You just move, you're thinking it's going there and you're just gone, and it's like, but some of the effects on it, if you hit the paddle just like at the right, if you're moving up in the swerve and stuff, that applies, and then as you start to get all the different power-ups and the multi-balls and the bombs and all that stuff, it just goes like, it just all pops on the screen and you're like, they've done a good job of this. Simple but effective. Like, really, really well done.
So it's interesting. So it's scrolling left to right like a
like
a shoot 'em up, like an old school shmup.
Mm-hmm. And as you're breaking the blocks, it's coming. You need to hit the blocks for the rest of the level to come towards you, or you can end up like. And if it goes too fast, you start like the paddle hits into the blocks if you haven't cleared them, and bits like that. It's very good. And then you can get different power-ups, like put like almost a shield behind you, so you like get like a pink line that comes up, and then I think that hits like 6. You've got 6 balls that it can hit before it goes away. But that cancels your multiplier, and it's your multiplier that gets your score going, and you can also hold in like one of the shoulder buttons to slow it down. But that reduces your multiplier as well. So like the longer you hold that in to kind of get the ball to hit it, the more your multiplier goes down. So it's all risk reward and just well thought through. Like it's good.
So you said that the paddle can hit into the blocks. So you need to remove blocks for the screen to move to the left. So I guess if you for some reason, for this example, you managed to take out everything on the right, but all the stuff on the left is still there hitting into the paddles. What actually happens though? Like what?
I think it just knocks out your multiplier. So I don't think it doesn't kill you or anything, but it doesn't. I think it just eliminates your multiplier. So it's like.
So the blocks can pass the line. The ball can't.
Yeah, the ball can.
Okay, got you.
And it's just if you get them blocks on your road and you're still trying to get the ball come towards you, obviously the blocks can point it back the other way, but it's harder for you to actually get the ball.
Lewis, permission to do a likening?
Of course.
Thank you. Ding Dong XL.
Oh,
that's what I'm getting with all the pyrotechnics and the neon and everything and the paddle.
And you know, I'm
big Ding Dong vibes.
I'm going to shout back to last week's episode. I'm like, that was the one game I'm thinking that you could have taken a dual mouse approach to.
Oh yeah, yeah, great one.
Get on that. The Switch 2 version of Ding Dong XL.
Ding Dong dual mouser.
So how long after you played this did you turn on Masternoid?
I haven't. Oh no, I know. You know how I love a bit Masternoid, but no, I haven't been back to play Masternoid. To be fair, I haven't had a VR headset on my head for a long time, but I do want to. I definitely do want to. Yeah,
it's mesmerising.
It is,
and it's one of those you can just pick up and try and do a level, like and it's just a big. It's just like get through these levels and get the highest combo you can get and get the highest score you can get and unlock more things as you go. Fairly simple from that perspective. I highly recommend it.
How do you feel about it going from left to right to left?
It takes a wee bit of getting used to. I think that's what makes it difficult.
We're so used to it to being top to bottom.
Up and down. Yeah. It definitely takes some getting used to, but when it feels quite. I don't know, it just makes it feel that wee bit more modern, because it is a slightly different take on it.
Can we move on from Breakout Beyond and stick with you, Alex? Because I would love to hear all about a game that I saw pop up in our Steam library and thought,
the one that you...
I was like, who has added this to the library? Because the artwork looks atrocious. But tell me about Nubby's Number Factory.
It's one of the best games I've played in a long time. And I mean, this might not, but just think Pego and Balatro, right? It's almost like it's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre, and the whole artwork of it's bizarre. The whole power-ups are bizarre, and essentially you get these different pegs that appear, and you have, for each round, you have a score that you need to hit for that round. It starts at like 8, and then it just builds and builds and builds and builds, and I think my high score just now is like 7 million. Right. Your score accumulates, so like every score you get in every round, it's like the total score, like it's far through. And I've still not completed a run, but you have like 7 slots along the top, and your slots are your upgrades, and you get different upgrades where like you have like Nubby is the name of the ball. The ball is called Nubby. And then so you can have a slot where he's toxic and he flings off this toxic waste like every 3 seconds, and it times how long he's in play as he's hitting off of these pegs. Or you can have one where if you leave the first slot open, it will put a random power up in that slot every time. And that's on. Well, the top one is power ups, and then you get these. I don't know what they are, but it's like little books, and then they are like they'll do certain things at certain points in the round, and that's like the ones that will activate this or activate that, and as you hit the pegs, like the score halves, and it's almost like, do you remember that game where it was like 2s or 3s or something, and it went 2, 4, and it doubled all the numbers to get it? So every time, like if you get a high enough score, you get so many refills, and as it regenerates, like the pegs double, so you can get up to like pegs. I think the highest one I've seen so far is like 256,000 for one peg or something.
Is that points or the amount of times?
Yeah, like points. Sorry. Yeah.
So I'm just looking at it just now, and it looks like, at least initially, the number on the balls are how many times you need to hit that ball for it to go.
No, that's the points you get when you hit.
Is that the points you get?
Yeah. So when it gets to 2 and then you hit that one, so when it gets down to 2 and you hit it, it disappears. So 2 is the lowest it'll go, and then when you hit it on 2, it goes. But it'll build up, and it doubles all the way up to like ridiculous numbers. And it's just all about hitting those targets, and it's so addictive. And you think it's a game that wouldn't play that easy in Steam Deck because it is really a mouse game. But the trackpad it basically uses the trackpad and the trigger, and you're just aiming with the trackpad and releasing the ball with the trigger, and it works perfectly. And you'll just lose hours and hours.
What's going on along the top? 1, 2, 3.
So they like the
up to 7. Power-ups.
Yeah.
So what are they? Like, there's one that looks like a plug socket. There's a cactus.
They all do like really random things. There's a nose which basically fires out snot. There's
the cactus. Is that the one that does that shoot pricks down?
Yeah, I think it does. And then there's like a big orb thing that fires out like rubbish, or like these like bits of meat. I think it's meat that actually fires out, and then. Like, they're just absolutely bizarre. Like
the art style is so bad, but it's obviously a deliberate choice.
But it's deliberate. It's absolutely deliberate.
It almost makes it funny.
And it's supposed to be like... Yeah. And I think I've only got to, I think, the 3rd stage, which I think is up to about level 50-something. And I mean, it's seconds. You're talking seconds a level. They don't last that long, and you know kind of straight away if you weren't lost. And like, and every time it regenerates, like it fills your balls back up if you have like got the multiplier. So in the scene, if you're looking at this on Steam, which is in the right hand side, there's like a little column, and that builds up for your multiplier, and it can go up to 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 and that then gives you like your score for the round, and it has like ridiculous names that gives the score. And then you get, for certain bits as you go through. You can get different power-ups, and then eventually when you've unlocked the 7 along the top, you get into a cafe and you can eat random things that give you random powers as you go. So if you like, you can eat a kebab, and a kebab like powers up like this certain amount of things, and it sounds like you sound like you can't even make it up, and it is mental. But I think you just need to play it to understand it. And I would, just play it.
So it's overwhelmingly positive on Steam. Where do you think? Where would you place it in this weird subgenre that's like roguelike Peggle-likes? So we've had Peglin, we've had Billionaire. I'd class as that.
I like this better than Billionaire.
Yeah,
like I haven't played Peglin, but I like this bit. I think this hits all the right boxes for just silliness for me. Like, because it's, see, when you randomly have snot flying across the screen that's hitting pegs and giving you scores, it's like...
Is it British?
I don't think so, I'm not sure. I don't think he's British.
Or British or Scottish. One or the other. Equally valid.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Can I just highlight one review? It says here, it's a recommended. It says, the creator of Balatro said this game has the sauce. I 100% agree. This game has the sauce.
It does have the sauce. You get plenty of sauce and snoz and many fluids. There's a lot of fluids. Yeah,
many fluids. Noted.
Because it knows what it's doing in terms of like innuendo and stuff that it's using in that as well, about all the different pegs and balls and stuff. Like, it's just
nice.
And I think as you go, there's like a little crazy guy, like, is the face on. There's like a little crazy guy's face. I think as you complete it, you get different crazy guys that do different things. So I don't think he's even the only crazy guy. I think there's more crazy guys that like come along. I've just not managed to complete a run. Yeah,
very good.
But yes, it's wonderful. Like, absolutely wonderful. I know Ben was sitting there like absolutely ready to ridicule me, but I'm like, no, there's a reason why this game is in the library, Ben, and I really want to play it.
It just goes to show, doesn't it? You can't judge a book by its cover. Nubby's Number Factory. Another banger that might go on the radar. Or possible Switch 2,
I bet great Switch 2
must
game,
have app with the mouse, could be good. Lewis,
I've
noticed you've gone back to a game that you've played a bit before that I've always been interested in, and you've tried to get me to get, but I haven't, because obviously I can't buy games this year.
You can't
until the 5th
I think
of June.
this is so. Cast your mind back. So this game is Dungeon Encounters. Cast your mind back. I think I spoke about this a couple of years ago. Really enjoying it, and then my whole party died, which isn't good. So what it is like it's a really sort of pared down JRPG. All you see is like, it almost looks like a word search, really. And you're a character traversing this board, filling out tiles, really, when you're walking about. You come across a tile that's got a number on it. That might be a battle or like a health station, or like an encyclopedia entry. But some of them are battles. So I think I got down to like off the top of my head, it was like floor 33, and I lost my whole party. And so you go back to the floor 1, where you can pick more characters, but those characters are severely underpowered. And then I think I did that, and I maybe rushed it a bit, and then that party died, and I had no one left, and I was like, this is fucking rubbish. And I was like, that's the game is ruined. The game is fucked for me, because I can't get back. I've got to restart it. And so I was like, through the week, I was like, I'm going to turn it back on. I'm going to start again. I'm going to see what's going to happen. I'll just take it easy. And it punted me back into my old game. And I got a message. I can't remember exactly what the message said, but it was like, it gave me 3 options. One was like, start again, retrieve your party, and then something else. I was like, retrieve my party. So it retrieves your party. It nukes the levels you've done, but you keep all your experience, which I didn't know at the time, a couple of years ago. So what I've done is I've got my whole party, whatever level they are, like, I don't know, decently leveled party, back up to floor 1, so it's quite easy to just like mow through people. I think it takes your weapons or your abilities away, but you're still high level, which makes it a bit easier.
Right.
So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm going back through all the floors. So what it is like you'll go and there's like an item, like a part of the screen will tell you how far away from another character you are. So say like there's someone in a potential list of playable characters that you could maybe have. They are somewhere in the game and you need to try and find them. So one might be in like level 5 on one of the tiles within there somewhere, and it'll count you down. If you get closer and closer, it'll say, oh, you're like 15 tiles away from this character. And you'll go, oh, okay, I'll keep on going this way, and then it'll go down, and then it'll go back up again. Okay, right. Or maybe it's across there. But like across there is you can't just go across there. You need to like try and find the path, the route, the maze to this, where this character is.
Yeah.
And that's how you bulk out your playable character list. But it's a really pared down RPG. It strips out all the shite that you would get with any other JRPG. Yeah. And it's just really about the combat, finding folk, maybe a bit of light reading if you want to learn about enemies. But I genuinely think you would like it.
Everything about it makes me think I would. The look of it, the concept of just stripping out all the bullshit, just boiling it down to just the fun bits of a JRPG is, very appealing. And it's Square, so obviously I think the people that made it have got like a heck of a pedigree. I can't remember.
They do. I think it was the. I'll be corrected if I'm wrong here, but I think the guy who did it was the person who created the ATB. Is it ATB?
Battle from Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah, from some of the key development team behind Final Fantasy, basically. Crazy.
It's good. It is, and it's like I said, it's just so stripped back. It's a very, very good game.
I'm not sure why I've never bought it, because it's been down to like £10 before, hasn't it? Several times. One of these days.
You're hitting that now, aren't you?
Yeah,
I am. I'm frozen.
We've got a couple of months.
Yeah. I'll wait. Yeah. Dungeon encounters. Nice.
Just, I double checked, sorry, just to quickly go back on Nubby's Number Factory, but it's made by one college student in America. So
one college student.
Yeah.
Wow.
Friend of the show.
That's impressive, yeah. Get him on. So I've been doing a bit of kind of JRPG bits and bobs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you count Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem Awakening. Obviously, I spoke about that before when I'd started it. I have now finished it, and I can safely say it's the best game I've played this year.
Really?
Yeah. What are we at? Mid-April now. It is. I just loved it, start to finish. Couldn't put it down.
What was it? You said Final Fantasy.
Fire Emblem Awakening.
Fire Emblem. Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Just so good, so Moorish, and I mean, I was quite far into it before I even started getting into the whole. Because you can. It sounds odd, but you can like make kids in this game. So
like Ben likes.
That's why I went quiet on it for a few weeks. I'm like, no, it's so you can up your relationship, and if you get like an S rank in your relationship with certain characters, then there's like a timey-wimey bit to the story, and basically your future children come back, and you can recruit them. So and they've got attributes from both parents, so they're quite strong characters to start with, and then you can kind of level them up. Very cool, very cool.
Do you, as a character, age in the game, or do you look exactly the same?
You look exactly the same. Yeah, but they've come back from the future, so you haven't really aged.
Oh, right, okay.
If that makes sense. It doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense in an RPG kind of way.
Yeah. They've developed time travel, but you haven't yet.
There we go. And so, and there's bits like that. And another thing that you can do, you can kind of pair up with characters during battles. So you can kind of like become stronger by going around as one unit when there's actually two of you. And then that increases your relationship and stuff like that. So I was just doing that towards the end. And that, I would say that, the final third is when I started actually using that. And that really made things a great deal easier and quicker because you're only controlling like half as many characters effectively, and they're really strong. So that was good. I really recommend it to anyone that likes strategy, tactics, Fire Emblem, any of that stuff. It is so good, and I cannot wait for the GameCube Fire Emblem to come to NSO, and I'd like to go back and finish off Engage and just play through as many of these as possible. Such good games.
Get Fire Emblem out your nut.
Indeed. And then on
eloquently put, Alex.
Quite. and similarly. So I moved on from that, and trying to currently balance playing First Berserker Khazan with Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Oh,
that seems like a reasonable level of disgust.
Yeah,
disappointment.
Lewis, you'll be pleased to know Khazan is winning. With most of my time is going towards that. But
Jesus,
I think I'm about 5 hours into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I'm surprised how tonally different it is from the first Xenoblade and what I played of 3. It seems very sort of cartoonish compared to them. Like, doesn't take itself seriously. Like, the main character Rex is just this little knobhead. Like, and he's very chatty. It's, it's a million miles away from your sort of silent JRPG protagonist that you sometimes get. Like in the likes of Fire Emblem, where it's just like he's just jabbering away constantly.
That's ideal.
It's quite. So I like him. I like the cast of characters so far, and I don't know. I think the Xenoblade combat never really clicked with me, or the combat arts and stuff, and never feel like you're really doing anything. But all the wrapping around it and everything else is very nice. But it just looks awful. It really does. I remember people when it came out saying, "Oh, handheld, it looks like Vaseline smeared on the Switch." Still looks like that, unfortunately. But
this is the one where you're in a mech.
Don't know. I certainly haven't. That's X, isn't it? The mech one.
Yes, actually, you're right.
Yeah. No, this is the one with the anime boobs. I think.
Pyra and Mithra.
That's the one.
There it is. We know.
I'm disappointed I know that.
Well, of course you do, Lewis.
Is that the name of the boobs?
But yeah, very promising. But it's such a big commitment, isn't it, to play through these games? That
is the Monado in this one?
Not that I've seen so far. No, because that was in 1, wasn't it? That's all. That was all they went on about in 1.
Monado. Yeah, they just would. Yeah, anything they would say, it would all come back to the Monado.
Witness the power of the Monado. Yeah. They are still doing that whole. I can't remember any off the top of my head, but the barks that they do in battles, and they just repeat themselves over and over and over again. It's just like.
Remind me of some of the ones in the first game, because although we used to have a lot of fun with them, I cannot remember.
It's rhyme time is one of them.
Oh yes.
And there's so many. I can't remember any off the top of my head.
Glad I've never played these games.
Oh,
They're good. They are good. I think the reason I started playing this was because I couldn't buy X, so I got that itch to play some Xenoblade again. I really liked the first one, and did like what I played of 3 as well. But yeah, whether I stick with this, I don't know.
Alex, you could play the first one if you wanted. You've got a shared...
I think I even have it on my 3DS.
There you go. What's stopping you, Alex?
Yeah. Self-respect, I think.
Yes.
Self-respect.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. My God.
Yeah, so stand by for future updates of that, or possibly not. Alex, give us one more. Tell us about Under Defeat.
Well, this kind of goes back full circle, right? Because this is another game that's ridiculously hard.
And we should just say that was Under Defeat. And not
Under defeat. Well, you don't want to know what's going on down there. Those little tootsies. But yeah, so Under Defeat is...
Phil 2 wants to be.
Oh, he's never getting it. Anyway, so Under Defeat is like you are a helicopter and it's just kind of vertically scrolling shooting. It's almost a shmup, but it's not quite a shmup. It's like, what was it, early 2000s game that came out in kind of Xbox 360-ish times and stuff like that. And you're basically trying to get through these levels as a helicopter to take out these. You've got like what do you call it? 8 directional movement in terms of how you can position your helicopter, and you're trying to take all these things to get to the end of the level while surviving with your 3 lives, kind of arcade style type gameplay, and it's very well done. Looks pretty, sounds really good. So it's a remaster of that, and they've polished it up a bit, but it's just too hard.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm just like, I keep trying, and I'm saying much of this is an Alex problem. I'm sure we've talked about this before. Not an Alex problem. I mean, the game. But no. It's... I'll keep trying, and I have got through a couple of the levels and got to the end eventually. And it's perseverance more than anything, because you do quite clearly on what you need to do, but it's difficult. But it's a nice one to jump in and out of for a wee level.
Yeah, it's like, arcade roots, isn't it? It's supposed to be balls hard to take your money.
But if you like that, I think this is it's a nice homage back to the original. Yeah.
I don't suppose you've looked under the hood to see if there's any sort of quality of life stuff that you can do to make it a bit easier.
It doesn't feel like it.
Infinite lives or anything like that.
I mean, I think I have had a wee look through it, and there was certainly nothing obvious. But no, I'm not. I couldn't see anything that made it like I could just keep going. So no, it doesn't seem to have that, which I think it could do with, because that's the kind of thing that would make this game a bit more palatable.
Yeah. I really liked, I had Ikaruga back in the day, and that's a game, it's not a STI. And I played that last year. I think I finished it last year because I played a version where I think you basically just had infinite lives, and it was like, oh, I can actually see beyond the second level now and see what this is all about. And finish it in half an hour rather than never finishing it. It's
I certainly don't think it does, but I might have just missed it. But I've looked, and I don't think it does.
Yeah, looks gorgeous though.
It does. It's very well done. It looks lovely and it sounds lovely. Yeah. And it's nice for jumping in and out of when you're not playing stuff, because I'm still playing Assassin's Creed as well. So,
of course,
30-ish, 30 odd hours in, enjoying it.
Christ,
wow! And that's you've been to the end.
No, I should be if I was playing it right, but I've been fanning about.
Yeah, okay. Side quests.
Posting pictures of horses.
I mean, I'm posting pictures of horses. I mean, I probably spent half that time to take pictures because it's just so pretty. But I think the one thing I would say is, like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing anymore. Because, like, the map's just circles of all these different things, and I'm just like, not the map, like the objectives, and it's just all these circles. And I'm like
searching in those areas and stuff.
No, like just do you know how when you're very initially you get that circle of all the people that you're trying to search for? I think I've now got about 15 circles.
Oh Jesus!
And I don't know which one I'm supposed to be doing.
No.
And I thought I wasn't going to get any more, and then another 2 appeared.
Oh,
it's like so I'm just doing shit now and enjoying it.
Yeah. I'm playing little gems like Under Defeat.
Yeah, Nubby.
Not to be confused with Under the Thumb.
Under
the prequel.
And wee Nubby.
Good old Nubby.
Sorry, Lewis, you were going to do a likening.
No, it's alright. It's not even like a proper likening. It's just because it's got a helicopter in it.
Oh, can I guess what your likening is?
I mean, you can. I was going to mention 2 games.
Okay. Is one of them Desert Strike?
Yes.
Yes.
What's the other one?
Don't know the other one.
Desert Strike.
Jungle
Strike. Right. Yeah, definitely got that.
Which when I was watching the video there, I was like, I want to play Desert Strike.
I remember that being pretty bad, even back then. I can imagine it's.
I wonder if it's on my thing.
Oh, your thing of 3,000?
Many games.
Legit
3,000? I'll have you know.
500, whatever it is.
If I go to all games, there is 40,499 games
Again,
that are available for me to purchase.
But you only need Tetris.
Another group pat on the back for not buying any games so far. well done, everyone.
But we love a loophole.
Right. That's it. That's enough. Let's play Guess the Outro. Time Bomb. Shall we?
Yes.
Let's blow things up.
Let's do it. Let's play it. 10 clues, you guess the game that I am thinking of. Simple as that. Everyone clear?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Number 10. Single player.
Oh. Mario Odyssey.
No. Number 9. It's back. How long to beat? 23.5 hours.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown.
Nope. Number 8. RPG.
That's a short RPG.
You're a short RPG.
RPG. Can I just say Desert Strike is on this?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, incredible.
Not that I've been looking. I've been paying attention to this podcast.
Of course. Was that your guess? Desert Strike?
Taking notice of my friends in the pub. What was that last clue? Sorry.
RPG.
RPG.
Pick one.
Dungeon Encounter.
Ooh, no. Number 7 is a quote from a fantasy review site, Blackgate. I quote, "You may have no idea what to do 50% of the time, but will still find yourself spending every available minute of the day carrying out nebulous tasks and exploring your fascinating surroundings."
Can you just I've got an idea. Can you just run through the clues so far? Because I'll hold my hand up. I was not paying attention because I was looking for Desert Strike on the
You
thing.
don't deserve this, but sure. Single player.
Yep.
23.5 hours.
Yep.
RPG.
Lovely.
And then that quote.
Great. Shenmue.
No. not Shenmue. It was a tremendous guess. Number 6. Originally released on PC.
No.
Anything. No.
Football Manager. Championship Manager.
No, it's not Championship Manager. But that would also probably apply to this clue. Number 5, at least 2 of us have played it. God, I love Championship Manager.
Oh, yeah. Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Nope, not Roller Coaster Tycoon. Who of us has played that, do you think?
Not an RPG. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Me.
Selfish. Number 4. Another quote. IGN. Its twisting plot, cast of memorable characters, and sheer depth of choice combine to create an experience that begs to be savoured.
Is it like something like fucking what's it called? George Stobart. What's George Stobart in?
Oh, the lorry guy.
Yeah, Eddie's. No, that's his brother, Eddie.
Oh, right, yeah.
Broken Arrow, or is that the? I've done this before. I seem to remember going through this before.
It's not Broken Arrow. Number 3. Lewis, you'll love this. Isometric perspective.
One of the worst perspectives.
Hades.
Not Hades.
It's not an RPG, really, is it? No. Kind of.
Pile of shite.
Number 3.
Feel like it.
Nope, sorry, not number 3. That was number 3. Number 2. Released in 2019.
What was it? Time to beat? 23 hours?
23 and a half hours.
Oh, and a half. Okay,
Precise. Don't forget that half.
That does narrow it down. Don't know. Again, I forgot what the clues are.
But it's that number 3. Let's just go to number 2.
No, that was number 2, wasn't it?
No,
Yeah, so number 3 was isometric. Number 2 was 2019.
Right. Well, let's go round it down 10 to 1.
Good idea. Good idea.
Now,
At 10.
I don't get paid enough for this shit. Single player, 23 and a half hours. RPG. Some quote I'm not reading. Originally released on PC. At least 2 of us have played it. IGN. Its twisting plot, cast of memorable characters, and sheer depth of choice combined to create an experience that begs to be savoured. Number 3, isometric. Number 2, 2019.
Isometric.
Number 1.
You want clue number 1?
Yeah.
Please.
1 word. Amnesia.
I feel like that is probably a dead giveaway.
I'm sure it probably is. We're missing something here. One of us is, because I don't think it would be quite ironic if it was me and you that had played this list.
Yeah, it would be.
But maybe Amnesia, and that's what we've got about it.
Oh, Disco Elysium.
Yeah. It is.
Actually, great perspective.
Shite perspective. Yeah, it is indeed Disco Elysium. Well done. Well done. That was down to the last clue again.
Yeah.
Pulled it out of the bag. Yeah.
That was a good clue. That last one, Amnesia, that really is.
Well, I would have never got that.
No. It's also, yeah, I mean, it's basically every RPG, every JRPG anyway. Character's always got amnesia, so, it's, you know. But still, you got it. Piecing all the clues together.
All the clues together.
Whilst
wanting to play Desert Strike.
Desert Strike. That's impressive multitasking. And you're a big fan of this soundtrack, aren't you, Lewis?
I am.
Tell us about it. I'll take a step back. Tell me all about it.
I have this on vinyl. I spent ages trying to find it, and then it came. They reprinted it. Who was it? I can't remember who it was, but it was one of the companies, or the company whoever did the pressing.
Yeah. For
it, they redid it, and I bought it.
Was it IM8-bit?
A pretty penny. Yes, IM8-bit. That's the one. To get it. I genuinely love the soundtrack. I'm a big post-rock guy, which is definition is like rock music using non-rock sounds, so you necessarily find guitar or whatever. But
it's British Sea Power that do.
It's British Sea Power, or Sea Power as they're known now.
Quite rightly,
because all the negative connotations that the British part quite rightly brings to the
I think power has quite negative connotations as well.
Yeah,
just called sea.
I love. There's a few. I'm really looking forward to know what song it is that you picked for this, because there are a few songs on there that I absolutely love.
Well, this was actually a suggestion from Phil 1.
Oh, legend!
So you can thank/blame him. But I think this is probably one of the more obvious ones. I don't know, but Whirling in Rags, 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Yep.
Controversial choice. Okay.
But I've listened to it. I like it.
It's nice and chilled out. That song repeats itself. I think it's 3 or 4 times throughout the soundtrack. So there's like an 8 a.m., midday, 5 p.m. and then 8 p.m.
Right.
So I think the 5 p.m. is like the proper jazzy version.
Right. So yeah. But yeah, we're going with 8 a.m.
Lovely.
Great choice. Thank you, Phil.
Can I just say, my favourite song is actually the first song on the whole album.
It's worth listening to the whole thing then.
Instrument of Surrender. Oh, it's a proper bleak fucking song. Really minimalistic, horrible.
Ding, ding.
Like, it's the first when you leave the Whirling in Rags, it's the first thing you hear. It's like just really baleful fucking horn noise coming on.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's my memory of what I played of Disco Elysium. Was that in the background?
Yeah, it's just
Chewbacca.
You must have got a pirated version.
Just Star Wars Special Edition.
Phil 1. You're the first Phil for a reason.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So yeah, thank you, Phil, and thank you, you guys, both of you.
Thanks.
We're on a wee roll again.
Yeah, you are. You're doing well. I'll crunch.
What is
the? I'll crunch the numbers.
Scores?
I don't know. I don't know. But yes, let's listen to Whirling in Rags, 8 a.m. from Disco Elysium.